Is it a sad day? Is it a happy day for the Daily Wire, for Brett Cooper? These are the questions we need to ask.
Whoa!
So, 3 or 4 days ago, I actually was talking to someone behind the scenes of the GCA, and I was like, I really want to do a video on the Brett Cooper thing. However, from my research, it's just a rumor, and then things went radio silent. So I don't think I should do it because I really don't have any evidence to back it up. Well, today, she herself, Brett, confirmed what those rumors actually were. Not in the way that you would think, and obviously not giving details because I'm sure there are plenty of NDAs and contracts still in play. But tonight was her last little stream, and so I'm going to leave a little bit of empty air. That way, I will let her speak for herself, and you'll see what she has to say about it.
Hey guys, some of you have heard the rumors online, and the rumors are mostly true. Today, December 10th, will be my last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I am being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And believe me, this is bittersweet. I have had the most unbelievable 3 years helping to craft the show, building this community, and telling stories and sharing the truth every day. Through the comment section, you all have made me braver, more articulate, more thoughtful, more hopeful than I could have ever imagined. And I'm grateful that we spent this time together. And I'm grateful that the Daily Wire gave us a platform to grow this community. But at this point in my life, I am ready to take on a new direction, both personally and professionally. This means new challenges and new endeavors, which I will share with you soon. As for this show, the comment section will continue with the Daily Wire. And now for some final thoughts from the God King himself, Jeremy Boring.
Bittersweet indeed. We're sad to see Brett go, but we're excited to see her take the next step in her journey. Brett's an amazing talent, both as a personality and as an actress. It's been a pleasure to see her bring the comment section to life these last 3 years, and her performance in the Pendragon cycle is sensational. I'm certain that whatever Brett creates next will be filled with the same joy and laughter and heart that she's brought to all of her work at the Daily Wire.
No, after having watched that, there's something that doesn't fit right with me, and maybe it's just an inside joke, so we don't need to read into it more than we already are, or than a lot of people already are. But calling Jeremy Boring the God King, almost like Xerxes from 300, it may be an inside joke, and it may be nothing more than that. It still didn't sit right with me, but hey, to each their own. Who am I to say anything about it other than to speculate? So after that very boring response, which I'm sure that pun and joke has been made a million times about him, yes, it's not clever at all. However, you can kind of tell that he is very metered, very calculated, very emotionless, which is completely antithetical or completely the opposite of how Brett was. Like, but you could say, because she started out as an actor, that she was a little bit performative with that. You could say that at first, if you only took those two clips out of context. But there's something I noticed because she does her final episode of the comment section with Brett Cooper.
The perfect last episode. I mean, there was so much that happened over the weekend that I desperately wanted to talk to you about, from Trump in France and the handshake wars with Macron, chatting with Jill Biden. Obviously, she looked very interested in him. I wanted to react to his wildly insane Meet the Press interview. Obviously, we can't forget Alex Cooper from Call Her Daddy literally admitting on stage with the New York Times that she was the one who turned Trump down, not the other way around. And of course, the absolutely incredible, incredible news that Daniel Penny was found not guilty on all charges.
And her voice is wavering. She is intensely nervous. She can't hide it because these emotions are true to her. Now, whether or not this is entirely of her own decision, whether she was felt forced out, that's something we're not going to know until later. But one thing that did make me a little bit, I don't know, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, is that Brett Cooper was the comment section. The comment section with anyone else would not work. Well, you would think that, but the Daily Wire is still keeping the comment section as a video. I mean, as a channel, as its own channel, but they're just going to have Reagan, who was one of Brett Cooper's assistants. Now that person is going to be running it underneath the same moniker. And that to me is another thing that I was like, I don't know, that does not sit right with me. And I know they're not telling everybody everything. So, we understand that. And if you don't understand it, well, let's open some eyes. There have been a lot of issues with Daily Wire and past people who were really hyped on them and then left. It wasn't even with them, but there were talks about Steven Crowder, and it was like, I don't care about the money. It was other things that were in the contracts that he had the issue with, which is why it never came to fruition. There have been other people who left. I think, oh gosh, what's her name? There was also like Candace Owens, who either famously or infamously, just depending on how you look at it, that was a pretty public exit as well. However, it seems like Brett is on good terms with them, at least on the surface. Um, it's something that, okay, here's my stance on it. I had followed Brett for a long time. She was the comment section. I feel like that show really wouldn't feel the same without her. So, if she's gone, make a new segment with someone else. I mean, if you want more young female representation in there, now that Brett's married, probably going to have kids soon, to be honest, which might be one of the reasons why she is bowing out, because she wants to start a family. But that's all conjecture. But if you want to keep that kind of like slot, to keep that part of the audience that follows Daily Wire in there, call it something else, because she kind of made that brand her own. It's in my own opinion. But it just, everything seems a little bit fishy and hairy all at the same time, which is disgusting and sounds like the 70s centerfold. And that's just, I don't know, something doesn't sit right with me about all of this, because even though I can only take Brett and her hyper exuberant delivery in very small doses, she was still base as hell. Like, she's still really cool and really good at her job. And obviously you can tell that like she fell into her niche and she did a really great thing while with the time that she spent there. She also did mention that professionally she's still going to keep working just away from Daily Wire. So this obviously is going to draw up more speculation and opinions on where she's going and why it's all ending in the first place. So there's not really much more that I can say without just like throwing out random things and like putting on a tinfoil hat and everything like that. And basically just let's let these people speak for themselves. But the news is from out of her own mouth that Brett Cooper is officially now, since he's done her last comment section episode, she's now officially gone from the Daily Wire. And the Daily Wire seemed like they didn't have any emotion about it whatsoever. It was the most corporate thing I've ever seen. We wish her the best in all her endeavors. We thank you for everything you've done for us, but we wish her the best in everything else going forward in her life. It's like, bro, you made bank off of her. You captured an entire demographic that you never would have caught with anyone else. Maybe not anyone else, but like you captured an entire demographic just by Brett Cooper alone. Like, she is known more than some of your mainstays. I love Andrew Clavin. I like Michael Knowles a little bit, but they don't get the crossover audiences like Brett did. So, good on you, man. You might want to show a little bit more emotion whenever you're giving a goodbye speech, but that's just me. I do wish Brett the best. I really do. Her and her new husband, if there are kids on the way, she hasn't announced anything, so that's all speculation. But no, I wish her the best in her endeavors. I can only listen to her for a very short amount of time because it's just grating on my ears, but her viewpoints are solid for the most part. Plus, at one point, she did shout out my boy Ryan Kennel. But what do you guys think about this? I wanted to do this video like 3 or 4 days ago, but I didn't want to do a video on rumors. So now that it is true, we've got it out there for you. And I don't really have a question to ask other than what do you think? But I'm still wishing Brett the best in everything that goes on in her life. And the Daily Wire just keeps looking worse and worse and worse, in my own opinion, with every passing day and how corporatized it's getting. But this is Multi from the GCA. We will see you tomorrow evening with a special guest. Bye.